What's happening? I am back with another video, and this video is brought to us by a question from YouTube user Bill Morley, who asked, I'd like to see if there is a difference when using an umbrella, that the flash is softened by some type of dome on it and then shooting through the umbrella. In other words, two levels of diffusion, just like the softbox. Well, Bill, we are going to answer that question in this video. So what we're going to do is it's obviously going to be a simple setup. We got one umbrella, one Speedlight that we're going to use, and we're going to first start with it bare. Then we're going to use a couple different modifiers. So we're going to do it bare. We're going to use the flip down diffusion on the flash. Then we're going to use this little thing that a lot of people get with their flashes. It's basically just a diffuser that's a little bit better than the one on the flash. And then we're going to use this knockoff Gary Fong dome type thing that I got from Amazon a few years ago. I think it was like 10 or 15 bucks for two of them. Use it every now and then. So we're going to use those and we're going to see if it makes any difference. Now, when we do each shot in between each modifier type, I am going to meter with the light meter because obviously when you put something in front of a flash, you are going to lose some of that power, some of that light intensity. So I want to make sure that we meter so that the light levels are the same in between every shot. So the setup is relatively simple for what you can see in the video. We have the Speedlight here with a 43-inch umbrella that is approximately 2 feet away from the mannequin subject, angled at 45-degree down, 45-degree camera axis. And then we have the camera here that we're going to shoot. So again, every shot, between every modifier, we're going to meter that. We're going to make sure that we're getting the same. And then once we take all the shots, we're going to throw them all into the computer. We're going to compare them all. And we're going to answer the question, does it make a difference? Spoiler alert, it does make a difference. But let's get into shooting and then we'll compare those videos or those shots. Okay, so we'll start with the regular flash first. And let's get the light meter going. So right now I have the camera set at f4, 1/160th of a second, ISO 100. So that is what we're going to meter for. We want to get the light meter to give us an f4 reading on all of the shots. So we will start with this one first. Okay, f4. So let's take that shot. And I'm shooting on a tripod just so that way I can get all the shots to be the same. And I'm having to lean down pretty low because I used a bar stool to put the mannequin on because I didn't feel like getting anything else. So, you know, I'm always honest. Okay, so let's take that shot. Okay, so then the next one, we're going to flip down the built-in diffuser on the flash. And we're going to remeter again, of course. Okay, so we're getting 2.8. We lost a stop. So we'll take that up a stop. And getting f3.6. We'll go up a third of a stop there. Of course, now f5 or 4.5. You know, it all depends on exactly where you put the thing. But I try to be consistent. Now we're getting f4. So let's take that shot. Very good. Okay, now we're going to switch to this little smaller flash diffuser. We're going to raise the diffuser, the built-in flash diffuser. We're going to raise that back up. We're just going to put this one on. F4 still, so we didn't lose any light between those two particular modifiers. So let's take that shot. Okay, and then the final one is the Gary Fong knockoff. And I don't know who actually gets the Gary Fong one. They're so expensive, it's ridiculous. Maybe people who really use these. I don't use this too often, but it is useful, but I wouldn't pay the Gary Fong price, I'll tell you that. It's way too much for a piece of plastic in my opinion, but what do I know? All right, so let's put that on there. Let's meter again. Okay, so we're getting 3.2, so we lost about 2/3 of a stop there. F4, and let's take this last shot. Cool. Okay, so now let's go put the shots in the computer. Let's look at them and let's compare them. So forgive the noise if you can hear it. My air conditioner is on because it's hot, so you could probably hear that. But let's carry on anyway. Okay, so if you look at these, you could obviously tell that there's a difference right away. You can see with the Speedlight one, the light is a little more harsh than the others, and the background is a tad darker in comparison to the ones with some sort of diffusion. The background is lighter. You're getting more light wrapped around the camera right, subject left side of the face, and the light is somewhat softer. Now we are still using a Speedlight and we are still shooting through an umbrella, so we're not going to get crazy soft light just by adding one of these light modifiers to the Speedlight. But I think it's very clear in looking at these photos that it does make a difference. So depending upon the look that you're going for, it could be advantageous to use one of the modifiers on the Speedlight. If we specifically look at the one with the Gary Fong knockoff, the light is pretty soft for what it is. Again, we're not trying to necessarily replicate, you know, a soft box with, you know, an inner baffle and an outer baffle and all of that. You know, you have to understand your limitations when shooting with, you know, a Speedlight and an umbrella. But for that combination, when you look at this image with the Gary Fong knockoff modifier, the light is really soft for what it is, and it wraps around the subject left side of her face very well. This is a very pleasing light in comparison to the bare Speedlight that has some deeper shadows on the left side of her face, and the highlights are just a tad bit more specular. So you know, if you know, umbrellas are really good. I don't use umbrellas a ton, mainly because I have a lot of other modifiers, and I like to shoot with soft boxes or octaboxes because they give me better control of the light, especially when I'm shooting in my apartment. It's smaller, so I get a lot of bounce. So the more I can control that, the better. But an umbrella and a Speedlight is a super cheap setup. If you are just getting into photography, you can get an umbrella, a good one, and a Speedlight for really cheap and get you going. And if you put, if you get that diffuser dome and you put that on there, you can get some really nice light. So I'm going to leave all four up on the screen with the labels so that you can see them again and just kind of analyze and see the difference. I think regardless of whether you had the smaller diffuser or the bigger one, there is a difference. They both do soften the light a little bit and spread it a little bit more, so both of those are an option. So there you have it, Bill. I hope that answered your question. And for those that are watching, I hope this was helpful and you learned something. So as you can see, putting that dome modifier on there does make a difference. So if you've got one of those just sitting around and you never use it, the next time you use your Speedlight, throw that thing on there. Obviously, you are going to lose a little bit of light. So if you're in a situation where you need max flash power, not a great idea. But if you have some leeway, you're shooting in a studio type setting, definitely put that dome on there. For sure make a difference. So again, as I said in my last video, if there's anything that you want to see, if you have a question, if you have a scenario that you would like to see, would like for me to demonstrate in a video, please drop that down below. Those comments are where I'm getting my ideas on videos to make. So this video was made specifically because a viewer requested it, and that's the type of content that I want to put out on this channel. So if you have anything, definitely let me know. Again, I hope this was helpful. stay safe, stay healthy. Let's hope that we can get back to doing what we love. I'm probably going to say that in every video until this quarantine is over, because at least it makes me feel better. So again, stay safe out there. Catch you on the next one.